Hey guys, what's up? It's Andy here, back at you with another video, and today we're going to be looking at how to file an EMP201 tax return. So this is an employee tax return. You have to do it every month, and it is basically how you take, as a small business, obviously you have employees, and you take a small percentage of their salary and you pay that over to SARS on behalf of them. So this is generally PAYE. Your UIF contribution also gets paid at the same time, and that's sort of for unemployment insurance fund. And then sometimes if you meet the requirements, you might have to pay SDL as well, which is skills development levy. So it's a bit of a complicated, well, not so complicated, but as long as you have a payroll software, you can do it yourself. I am a proponent for, I encourage you guys to try get an accountant or an accounting firm to do these things for you, because it's not always the best idea to be trying to do these things yourself without the time you'll spend on it. You may lose out in actually running your business. So down the line, if you can get to the point where you can appoint a firm to do it, it does save you a little bit of stress. However, for the start of my businesses, I've always done it myself, because accounting firms will generally charge like maybe R1,000 a month to do it, depending on, and then additional time per employees. And yeah, it can be a bit of a burden when getting started and getting off the ground. So anyway, let's jump over to the screen and have a look at where we would start. First off, you want to be in, I use Simple Pay as a payroll software over here. It's just as an example where you would get some of the information from. Basically, if you've got any payroll software, you're going to be able to find like a filing screen, and you're going to be able to get a PDF with all your filing information in it. So with that being said, as you can see here, I'm doing May for at the moment, and it is, as of the time of recording, it's the 5th of June. It's a Sunday, so this always needs to be in by the 7th, and I think if the 7th is a weekend, you have to do it before the weekend, so never do it on the 8th. And then some of the payments, I always try to do it on a weekday before the weekend if it falls on the 7th. So there is a penalty if it's late, so don't be late. Okay, right. So you'll have some sort of PDF, and then that's going to look something like this over here on the left-hand side. As you can see, it's got the period, and you can see as well, it's got generally, this is, you've got your PAYE amount, SDL, your UIF, and your payroll liability total. And on the other hand, this is just also sort of a summary. If you're using ETI, which is Employment Tax Incentive, which is a brilliant thing to be doing, you may also be able to do that. So anyway, first thing you want to do is now head over to e-filing to get ready to file your 201. secure.sarsefiling.co.za, log in with your username. And once you're in, you'll head over to, obviously select make sure you're in the right portfolio and taxpayer. Then you want to go to returns issued, and then EMP201. Let that load up for a second. Right, so if you don't have the period, if there's nothing here, you have to go up to this little drop down menu. And because I'm doing May's returns, then I'm going to do 05 and then select request return. Once you've done that, you'll see the return over here, and then you'll just select open. Then you select on the return. Right. So once it loads, you'll see a few basic details. That's just going to be your name, surname, position at the business, phone number, cell phone number, and an email address. Right, so that's easy. That's a nice way to start. Once you've done that, let's scroll down. Right. Next thing, ETI is, that's compliant. This doesn't really cover much details on ETI, but if you do use ETI in your payroll, you'll get the details of like how much you've used and how much is calculated usually in your report, and then you would just pop it in over here. But I might make a follow-up video on the ETI. First, you would just enter your PAYE liability, the SDL, then your UIF, and then you basically check that it matches up to your payroll liability, 11200.73. And guys, don't use my figures, obviously use your own figures just as a declaration. There's no penalties. These you can just leave blank. If it's a VDP, that's voluntary disclosure program, generally you just leave that no. Don't have a tax practitioner, and you just need to sign the date over here. Most new people always forget about this. 0605. Once you are happy with that, just double check everything and then select file return. Right, it says you have successfully submitted it. Then select continue. All right, then it's got another thing saying it's been successfully submitted. And just as a last thing, now we can select make a payment. It's already put in the amount. I'm going to select pay now, select OK. Then you select your bank account, the date you want to put it through on, and I don't know if you want to put any comments or anything like that, and then you select pay now. All right, so confirm that you've got one item. Okay, now this is also just the confirmation. Confirm that, can't reverse it. Right, so now it's not actually paid. I've set it up to my bank account. You can do an EFT, but I always do it this way. And if you don't have the screen, you do need to link your bank account. So it's a request to initiate a payment. So it's pushed it through to F&B, and then I need to go to F&B to approve it. So what you're going to do is I'm just going to continue here, and I'm going to load up F&B so long. Log into F&B. All right, so once you've logged into F&B, you want to go into payments. It's going to be different if you're F&B, ABSA, wherever you're banking with. Then up to e-filing, and you'll have a block over here that says you can just make the payment, and then you authorize a payment. It's generally not available on weekends, and you've just got to wait for the Monday morning to do that. And don't forget to make the payment, because even though you filed your return, you still need to do the payment before the 7th as well. Otherwise, you'll also get a fine. So guys, that's pretty much the gist of it. My disclaimers: I'm not a tax practitioner. I'm definitely not qualified to be able to advise you on any of this, but this is how I do it. So yeah, guys, you should probably just check with a accountant or bookkeeper for the first one and make sure that they are advising you to do it in the exact right way. Think for yourself and all of those disclaimers. But otherwise, I'm Andy. I am here to help you learn the things that I had to learn the hard way by myself, because there was no resources available. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, like and subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you guys in another video.